Hello everyone. So this is not going to be the polished, ready to go video. Look, I'm not even straight on my little stand. Let's fix this. There we go. That's a little better. Hey, so I am working right now. I've got 10 minutes to get dinner on in the oven. Sorry about that. Had a couple quick things that I'd forgotten. I've got about 10 minutes before I've got to be out the door. So I need to have dinner in the oven before I leave. Let's see if we can get this in the oven. We are just making tonight a quick, simple Greek sheet pan dinner. So you're supposed to use zucchini, but I don't have any. So this is very much a use what you have situation. I love sheet pan meals because I can use cheaper cuts of meat and make them taste, more delicious, more flavorful, use them up. Instead of my boneless, skinless chicken breast, tonight I'm using drumsticks because that's what I have. And I can use any veggies you've got. Like I said, I think you're supposed to use zucchini in this, but I've got broccoli. So that's what we're gonna put as our green base. I considered doing potatoes, but I really want this to be a straight S meal for me and, have the ability to add rice or another starch. I am gonna put some rice in the oven as well. Rice is one of my favorite things to bake, especially brown rice. You just pop it in. It takes a little bit longer, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, but if I'm baking all of this anyway, I'm just gonna pop in a little casserole dish full of rice. Right now I'm just kind of cutting off the woody bottom part just to make these a little bit smaller and more doable. Like, look at that. I mean, that is a piece of broccoli as big as my face. So I'm gonna do this. And again, this is just to show you, don't feel like you need to use the exact ingredients, exact ratios. This is to show you that getting dinner on the table is something you have to do every night. And there's lots of ways you can do it. You can do it through a drive-through, but it is not something that has to throw you off plan. So I am trying to just kind of chop this up into manageable sizes without getting them too small, because if they get too small, they get too crispy. This is gonna bake for a little bit over an hour, well, until I get back with one of my kids who has a lesson this afternoon. I've preheated my oven to 325. You can do 350 and do it for a little bit less time. But like I said, I know I'm gonna be gone. There are other people here. I'm not just leaving my oven unattended. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the dinner rolling so that they're ready. And it will be hot and ready to eat when we come back. So I'm just about done chopping this up. Just like I said, rough chop. Kind of just making sure that you get all the real big pieces. That looks good. So now I've got a tray of broccoli as kind of my base. So that's my foundation. If you had zucchini, you could use zucchini. I'm gonna grab a cutting board. You could use zucchini, you could use really anything. How am I doing on time? I got 7 minutes. Perfect. Let's chop up this red onion. So because this is a Greek dish, I'm going red onion and got some feta over there. But sheet pan meals are great to use up whatever you've got in the house. I just happen to have red onion. It's actually not something I usually keep on hand. So that was fortunate. But if I had not had a red onion, I would have just used a green onion. I know I'm leaving a whole little pile of veggie scraps, but sending those out to the chickens in a little bit. Let's see. It's literally this simple. So, a lot of times people think, oh, it's too overwhelming. I have to make dinner every night. Look at all of these recipes. And don't get me wrong, I love a good recipe. Some of them I've made so many times that I have them memorized. The chicken and wild rice soup is one of our absolute favorites. And I don't even need to open my book anymore. But when you don't need a recipe or you have 5 minutes or like tonight, you're just trying to get rid of what you've got. Trying to make a cheap cut of meat a little bit tastier and a little bit, you know, more appealing. This is a great way to do it. So I think all of my family will eat onion. If not, these are big enough chunks, they can just pick them out. I've got that all in there, and then I'm going to do some peppers. And just rinse these off real quick. I'm going to do a yellow and a red. I'm going to do yellow and orange. I'm doing some cherry tomatoes. So let's use as many different colors as we can find. All right. Put that on the raw meat. I'm going to cut that up. I know that there are fancy ways to cut onion or peppers that will kind of lower the waste. You don't have to quite peel out as much, but again, we're in a hurry. We're just trying to get this done on the pan, in the plate. There's a lot of ways to do it, and there's not any wrong way. You just have to, whatever's fastest for you. It's probably whatever you grew up doing, which for me is slicing them in half and letting it go. I do have some exciting announcements that are coming up, and I cannot wait to share with you. It's also going to include a sale on my one-on-one coaching starting tomorrow, and a new coaching opportunity for a group starting in January. So I know a lot of people love a January restart. There's something about starting fresh. I mean, I always tell people, you don't have to wait. You know, there's never a perfect time to start with your next meal. But there is something that I personally love about a Monday or the first of the month or January 1st. So if you're looking for that new support come January 1st, or if you want to get started with your next meal with one-on-one coaching, I've got some really exciting offers that I'm going to launch tomorrow, along with a really exciting announcement about the future of reaching for health. So we are going to get these peppers in here. We got 4 minutes. Let's see. And then this is one of the tricks that I absolutely love. I season my veggies first. Because really, I mean, I'm going to season it all, but you really want a lot of your seasoning on your veggies. Oh, I forgot the tomatoes. Almost forgot. So, take my tomatoes. I'm just going to rinse them. I have to find a better camera angle. I love cooking live, but it's hard to find a good spot to stick that camera so I can still wash and get all my stuff done. It would also help if I had a little more time and could have, you know, gotten this set up a little better. I'm going to use about half this container. This is I think 2 pounds. Yeah, 2 pounds. I'm going to use about a pound of cherry tomatoes. They get really delicious and sweet when you cook them. So now I'm going to spray everything with a good dose of avocado oil. Now, I mean, look at this. So I'm just going to hold this up so y'all can see it. Doesn't that look amazing? Like the colors and the vibrance. I'm so excited. Now, the funny thing is I sent my daughter to the store today, and I'm not going to call her out, but I kind of am. She sent me a picture of chicken thighs, which is what I wanted. And I said, yep, that's it. Get those. And then she came home, and they're drumsticks. So, it's okay. Next time I'm going to tell her, just get what you sent me in the picture. But we're okay. It's not a big deal. It's all dark meat. And the bone-in is actually so great for, it has a lot of extra collagen and gelatin. It's right up next to the bone in the meat. So this is actually, before I touch the meat, I'm going to add some of my seasoning. So this is just a Greek Mediterranean blend seasoning. I got it at Costco. It's got garlic, salt, onion, orange, tomatoes, crushed red pepper. It's really tasty, but you could really just use spices from your spice cabinet. If I was doing this without a seasoning blend like this, I would do some basil. I probably do some oregano. Just, whatever you've got on hand, put it on there. It's gonna be fine. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these chicken legs and just kind of nestle them in kind of the best I can with as much skin on the top as I can get. And then I'm going to, let's see here. When you cook that skin, it gets real nice and crispy. Oh, this is gross. I do not like cooking with raw meat. Gross. All right, we're gonna deal with that when it's cooked. Can't get it right now, I don't have time. But here's the thing, this is the cheap cut of meat. So I bought 5 1/4 pounds of these legs and it was $5. So this is $5 worth of chicken. So if you need a cheap, quick, delicious meal, this is it. Like, save your money. This is an S meal, so I'm not gonna eat it with starches, but I'm gonna give my kids rice. I thought about doing potatoes, but I didn't have time to wash them and cook them. Chop them up. Look, we're done. I'm gonna toss this away and wash my hands real good. Let's see. And then, oh, you can't even see me, hold on. All right, there we go. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a very similar spray, although this doesn't need it quite as much because it's already a little damp, so that seasoning is gonna stick. Really what you're just trying to do is get that seasoning to stick. And then just do another good coating of seasoning. And as these cook, the fat from the veggie, or from the chicken, is gonna come down, it's gonna flavor and tenderize those veggies, and it's just gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna put this in uncovered, just like this. Ooh, it weighs a ton. For about an hour, probably an hour and 15 minutes. I might crank it up at the very end to get the skin nice and crispy. Crank it up to 425 for about 5 minutes. Skin will be crispy, and then right when I'm doing that, I'm gonna add probably 1/2 cup of this feta, sprinkle it all over, and that will help it get really, kind of melted in and just add to the creaminess and adds a little salty bite. So I hope you have a great afternoon. I've got to head out the door.